All right, welcome. We are back at it again. 2 hours away from West Indies taking on Australia in the second ODI. Of course, we have with us our usual expert analyst. Davian is in the house. Welcome, Davian.
Thank you for having me, Ronaldo. So excited to be here.
Definitely. Great times for West Indies. But before we start, of course, just to let the viewers know, if you want to join in our conversation, I have posted a link to the studio. If you want to join in our conversation in the live, and the only thing that we request is that you turn on your camera, and of course, if you can ensure that your background is not too noisy. So just turn on the camera, hit that link, come and have a chat with us. So let's get into it, Davian. First things first, let's talk about the first ODI. All right, the first ODI West Indies played against Australia would have went down by 8 wickets, and Australia winning with 69 balls to spare. Your thoughts on the first ODI?
Well, Australia showed why they're 2023 World Cup champions. They played like a champion team. They were clinical with ball in hand and clinical in the chase. The quality in both sides showed up significantly in that game. So, personally, for 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 next game, if we're batting first, I want us to bat our 50 overs. We have that tendency of being bowled out. So that's one area we also need to improve on and also bat with intent. Some parts in the innings, we were just looking to survive instead of looking to score. The bowling, wow, the bowling, it lacked potency, and we didn't see where bowlers were trying to be creative to get the batters out. So yeah, so I want to see more creativity with the bowling and for the batting, but with more intent and bat out 50 overs. So yeah,
Well,
that's
you
it.
talk about batting out all 50 overs, but I mean, not trying to play devil's advocate or anything, but we batted 48 overs, pretty much, well, 49 overs to be exact. Uh,
Right,
Basically, we had like 8 deliveries to spare. Had we
right,
used up those 8 deliveries, do you see us getting more than 250? Let's just put in best case scenario, case in card
right.
didn't get run out or anything. Let's say we had posted 250. Do you think that would have been enough?
No, well, it would have not been enough for us to win, but the score would have looked more respectable. I mean, a 250 for 950 overs look better than a 231 all out in 48.4. And we're playing the best team in ODI cricket right now. So yes, some players are looking, yes, we want to win 2-1 or 3-0, but we have to be realistic with our goals. What small goals we need to achieve? Number one, battle 50 overs and not losing more than a certain amount of wickets. That's number one. Second thing, have someone from the top four batting till at least the 45th over, right? I mean, things like those are the small things we need to achieve with our batting. And then if we do that consistently, we will get win more games and also win more series.
All right, you gave us pretty much a synopsis there. Definitely we have to set our small targets, as you said, like bat 50 overs, power play targets, what we want to do in the middle. But let's now just talk overall about how the game went. So I don't know if you were up watching the game, but as soon as Shea Hope got dismissed, I turned off my television and I went to bed because I knew once Shea Hope got dismissed, there was a very small chance that we were going to win the game. There was a small chance we were going to bat 50 overs. It's just the truth. So I'm going to allow you to hit the floor and just summarize how our batting went according to your perspective. Because as
All
I
right.
said after Shea Hope, I didn't see anything more after that but highlights.
So when I tuned into the game, I was seeing Casey Carty, Ruston Chase partnership. It was a good partnership. Looking at where the score was at 59-4. I mean, Casey Carter was basically holding an end and allowing Russian Chase to play shots. And I heard of a statistic, a rather interesting statistic. They said when Adam Zampa does not take a wicket, so they actually lose most of their games when he does not take a wicket. Not saying that West Indies would have won, but when Russell Chase was bowled by Adam Zampa, that was a turning point in the innings. So if Russell Chase had a kick on to score 30, 40 more runs, West Indies would have easily scored 300 plus runs. So West Indies have to be mindful in the power play, reduce the number of wickets that Australia take, and the middle overs. Do not give Adam Zampa any wickets. We can easily let him go 30 35 runs. So they we need to identify when playing teams which bowlers are a threat in the power play, which bowlers are a threat in the middle overs, and who are the threat in the death overs. So I think that was a turning point in the game because Australia was looking looking frustrated each over. Ruslan Chase and Casey Carty was batting. Hayden Walsh Jr. He sucked the life out of the innings. I mean, he struggled immensely. In all honesty, I mean, a lot of that deliveries, he struggled to rotate the strike, and he gave a lot of half chances to the Aussies. And to add salt to the wound, Hayden Walsh Jr. basically ran out Casey Carty. That was another turning point in the innings, right? Ramara Shepherd, he was LBW. And fun fact, he has been out LBW in the last 3 innings. I mean, the couple innings he played in the SA T20 league, he has been out LBW. So I think Ramon Shepherd needs to work on getting his feet moving in the early innings. Because bowlers are simple bowling full and straight to him because they know that he doesn't get his foot moving to target LBW and bowl. So the Ramon Shepherd and the coaching staff need to look at that. Matthew Ford played a decent little innings given situations, and Moti and Thomas, well, they're really tailenders. So, right.
All right. Definitely a nice overview of what's happening. But let's just take it a little bit slower. Let's start with the first 10 overs, the power play. Of course, we lost 3 wickets in the power play. Alec Athanas, we lost Justin Greaves first. The debutant knocked over our two openers, Greaves, Athanas, and also Shea Hope dancing down the wicket, having a hoik, hitting the edge, and he's a gun. It was a beautiful late outswinger, by the way. Many might say it's uncharacteristic from Shea Hope to do that, but that's how the game is. So let's talk about that first. First, talk about the openers. Justin Greaves, making only a single. The debutant knock him over, and of course, Athanas again, nicking off again. In the Test series, I know here nicking off again. So let's start with the openers. Justin
All right.
Greaves.
So for Justin Greaves, he was bowled by Beauty by Bartlett. Great outswinger, full length. So I would say Justin Greaves gave away his wicket. He was just bowled by a stunner. Alec Altanaz, you can see that there's a technical flaw with his batting. He has been dismissed the same way in the last couple of innings. So I hope the backroom staff is looking at that. For Shea Hope, well, he has been. That's the thing about when you play more than one format. He has been playing in the T20 franchise leagues, and he did not really adapt to the changing format. So I think if there was probably a practice game for a 50 over series, I mean he would have not played that shot. So I expect in the second game or third game, I expect Shea Hope to come really good. And to add to that, Shea Hope batting performance in the first innings is way worse compared to when he's chasing. So I mean that's part of the reason why West Indies do not win many games when batting first because Shea Hope is pretty much an average batter when we bat first. His class in terms of big innings shows up more when we're chasing. So with that said, I definitely want us to bat first in all innings because I really want Shea Hope to improve his batting statistics when batting first, just like Craig Brathwaite in tests. He's excellent in first innings, but second innings is completely a different batter.
So he's the
Right,
opposite from Sheo.
right. One perform most in the first innings, while the other perform most in the second innings.
But with Shea Hope now, wouldn't you say now then that Shea Hope when he's chasing, he's able now to be more measured because when he's batting first, right? He doesn't know if 250 is gonna be par,
Right.
270, 320. He doesn't know. And also when you're playing these day night ODIs, the condition changes in the night. So when you're batting in the day from batting in the night, of course the condition changes, and so maybe what would have been a par score at the end of the first innings, when we start to bowl now later in the evening or in the night, the pitch might quicken up, and you never know what can happen. So do you think Shea Hope is batting with that in his mind that the condition will change?
I think so, but what I think probably Shea Hope needs to do well based on the pitch. If I were him, I would look at the par score the last 10 games, which is the par score winning, and say, okay, this is scored that most teams get when they win batting first. So this is the total we're working with. In the case we get more is a bonus. So that is the mentality I want Shea Hope to go with, more than thinking having so much uncertainty in his head.
But let's add another case to it. Now, as you just said, to look at the last 10 scores. Now, let's say the last 10 games were all day games. However,
Right.
that was a day-night game. How do you then translate a day game to a day-night game? As we saw in the World Cup, the 1KD in Mumbai, excellent batting surface. However, under the lights, the ball was swinging and it just didn't look the same surface. So how do we know how would Sheo be able to now make that assessment to say make the
Wow.
direct link between a full day game and a day night game?
Whoa. That's an excellent question. Excellent question. Wow. Well, wow. Nothing know how to answer that one because wow. That's food for thought on that one. Food for thought on that one. Let me. What I would do, I would play normal cricket. Rotate strike. When the bad deliveries come, you put them away, and the final 10 overs, if he's still there, just go just hit higher gear. So I would hit higher gear, and it his goes on, and play each ball on its merit, and reduce the dot deliveries, play the ball into the gaps, run hard, play with intent. Yeah, that's what I would encourage him to do. Nothing about any score when the game that is being played on the pitch, the statistics is very limited or not existent based on those time frames.
All right. Now we have to talk about the guy who came at number five. There was lots of questions about who would have batted at number five. Some wanted Teddy Bishop to just come straight in the team.
Right?
Kavem Hodge. It was really a toss up between the two. Usually, we have guys with a bit of power at five, whether it's a Hetmeyer or a Rutherford or whatever the case may be. We
Mickey
usually have
P.
guys, yes, Nicholas Puran. Usually, we have some powerful left-handers to assist Romario Shepherd, right? Especially in the back end of the innings. So Kavem Hodge, your thoughts on how he looked for his short stay at the crease, and would you also play back Kavem Hodge in the second ODI at number
Wow.
five?
Well, I really don't think number five, based on how our team setup, is the right spot for Kevin Hodge. But then again, where would we put him? I would have played him same way. But wow, the a left field option, right? Because I realize there is some coaching. It is I'm more on the creative side. Seeing that Alec Altanaz is struggling with the moving ball, probably can put Alec Altanaz at five, right? Since he's a left-hander and he bats with intent when he gets going and basically push everybody else up.
So you're saying you'd open with Casey Carty and Justin Greaves?
Right, that is correct. Right.
Oh, that's putting Casey Carty under a lot of pressure. A
Well, I
lot
mean,
of pressure.
he's in good form, and he actually went well. To be honest, in the first game, he went in basically very early.
That is
So
true.
right. So
Inside
he
3 overs.
right. So I mean, personally, if you can bat a number three, you can open because there'll be times when they open the batter can get a one ball duck, and you're asked to come in and bat.
But I mean,
So
it's different because I've even heard Shimron Hetmeyer say when he's batting at number three, as long as he's not opening. So even if he's facing the second ball of the innings, it makes
right,
a big difference for a batter. All right,
right,
it makes
right.
a huge difference because they don't want to face the first ball of the game. They want to see a delivery, see how
Mm-hmm.
fast the bowler is bowling, and then now they can go out there and feel ready and confident, even if
Or
it's a second ball. So,
our next option, you
yeah.
don't know Shea Hope wants to bat at number four, but given the inexperience of this team, Shea Hope can also take up the opening position. So Shea Hope could open with Justin Greaves and Alec. Okay, for Alec Altanas to come down order. I think Alec Altanas could do well with going down the batting order, in all honesty. And Kevin Hodge basically, given his batting style, Kevin Hodge could easily be at four, given the way how he plays. Kevin Hodge is more of an accumulator than a power hitter.
And that's the thing I want to ask you about our team. But before we do that, just to say good night, Kurt. Good night. Yes, we finally got to release a video on Fabian Allen, and also to all the viewers in. If you'd like to join our chat or discussion, we actually put a link in the description. All right, so look at the link in the description, the StreamYard link, and you can click on it and join in our chat. And only thing we ask is that you turn on your camera, and of course, make sure the background is not too noisy. That's all. But turn on the camera, make sure the background is not too noisy, and we're welcome to have a nice discussion talking all things West Indies cricket. All right. But yes, thank you, Kurt. Yeah, but let's get back to as we were saying, Davian. If you look at the batting, right, you said that Kavem Hodge is an accumulator. When you talk about guys with strike rates above 90, if you look at apart from maybe a Athanas who would bat typically around 85, 90, if you look Justin Greaves, his strike rate was 77 when he was the leading run scorer in the Super 50. Casey Carty naturally bats round about 70. Shea Hope naturally bats round about 70. Kavem Hodge naturally bats about 70. Ruston Chase naturally bats round about 80. So if you look at our top six, we don't seem to have a top six that's going to score 250 runs because if everybody strikes at 80, right?
Right.
80 as a strike rate, 80 runs per 100 delivery. 80 times 3 is 240. So we're setting up a 240, 250 game with extras at best. We for a 50 over game. So what's your thoughts on our top six? And do you agree with this makeup for our top six?
Well, no, I don't. In all honesty, based on the test squad and what certain players did, I really felt Kurt McKenzie should have been there. I mean, he's in form. I mean, he takes the attack to the bowlers. I really think Kurt McKenzie should have really opened in this series. And also, not everyone would agree, but Joshua De Silva, I would have opened with Joshua De Silva. So looking at players on form, we have to play players on form. That's very, very important. So that way, when players who are not on form, when they're out, they'll put in the work to be on form. and key players on their toe. Kurt McKenzie and Joshua Da Silva would have been an excellent opening pair.
All right, so you heard it. Definitely, many would be in shock to hear that statement. Joshua Da
Right,
Silva or a Kurt McKenzie. That's a
right,
that's a big statement. No, I'm
right,
not gonna say I disagree. When you look at it, to be honest, I didn't even have Kurt McKenzie going to Australia, and he went to Australia and definitely proved himself because he had a tough time in South Africa, and I was not impressed by him in Super 50. So you can understand why the selectors would not have um they wouldn't have asked for Kurt McKenzie. Because to be fair, who was the leading run scorer in Super 50? Justin Greaves.
right.
And he did it at the top of the order. Alec Athanaz was our next best opener. He's at the top of the order. Now, the man who scored the second most runs, of course, Darren Bravo, not here. But of course, the selector said they were investing in Casey Carty. Based on Super 50 numbers, a lot of these guys deserves to be here. Casey Carty was selected as an investment, so his numbers wouldn't have really looked too good in Super 50, but he's an investment. Kavem Hodge, I'm not sure how he got in the ODI squad, but we can, of course, make a 1 and 2 surprise players in the 11. Matty Ford, of course, is the next one who would have been said that he's a youngster and we're investing in him. So definitely. Now, we have to get to Romario Shepherd now. Before we talk about Hayden Walsh, right? Three things we have to talk about Romario Shepherd. Did you agree with pushing Romario Shepherd below Hayden Walsh Jr., given that Romario is the more established batter? What's your thoughts on that? Then I have two more questions for you.
All right. So I okay. I agree with Hayden Walsh Jr. promotion. Why? Number one, he's a left-handed batter, and Adam Zampa had a couple overs remaining. I don't think it's wise to really have Adam Zampa bowling to two right-handed batters. That's number one. Number two, they at the stage of the innings, we did not need say explosive any explosion in that innings. We needed to regroup and really just knock it around, right? And then I think Hayden Walsh Jr. has the game to really do that. And I was thinking that they was expecting Hayden Walsh Jr. and Casey Carty to probably stay there together till probably the 40 to 43rd over, and then Hayden Walsh Jr. would have given the opportunity for Ramara Shepard and Matthew Ford to really finish it off. So it was a strategic move, but Hayden Walsh Jr. didn't not really play his part because he basically placed more pressure on Casey Carty because most of the overs he faced he basically took off 4 or 5 deliveries before he gave Casey Carty the strike. And then when Ramar Shepard came in, it was under a lot of pressure, and his weakness of defending full and straight deliveries early in his was excellently exploited.
All right, just a second. Just someone is trying to join.
Mhm.
Abdullah. Um, All right, just having some issues there to join. But let's look at Kurt's comment here. Should have been Kurt McKenzie should have been in this team, or even a Odin Smith, the batting, lacking, attacking batsman, which you would have alluded to, Davion. Would definitely lack attacking batsmen, players with intent, and the bowling needs more pace. Definitely. We played three spinners. We'll soon get to the bowling as well, Kurt. You are definitely right. We're definitely lacking pace. How can we have three spinners in Australia? Um, that was a bit of a shocker. Um, yeah, so I 100% agree with what Curtis said. Well, maybe not 100% agree, 95% agree. Wouldn't necessarily agree that Odin should be that batter in the squad, but definitely we need players like a Odin, like a Shepherd, like a Kurt McKenzie. attacking batsmen, because we can't have our top six all being accumulators and guys who's going to nudge it around and get us to 240, 250. Yeah, but yeah, definitely. No, I agree with you, Davion. You're mentioning now, of course, hiding Shepard from the leg spinner because his numbers actually suggest that he cannot play leg spin, especially at the start of his innings. So
Yeah.
I 100% agree Hayden with the move to send Hayden Walsh up the order. But you mentioned another point earlier that Romario Shepherd was out leg before wicket a couple of times, like first or second ball in the SAT 20. So I don't know how many of us are watching the SAT 20, but Romario Shepherd has been struggling, as you would have alluded to, Davion, especially with full and straight early into his innings, playing across the line, getting out leg before wicket. Now, my question to you is why has Romario Shepherd lost so much form since he got that injury? Because if you following him in the SAT 20, he hasn't been having a blast, he hasn't been making runs, and also he hasn't been picking up wickets. So what's the
Yeah.
issue since his
I
injury?
I really think Ramar Shepard he's not fully recovered from his injury. Yeah, I mean, he's not fully recovered. He was bowling. He bowled 4 overs in this, and he 0 for 14. I mean, yeah. So I think the injury is still there. He's not fully recovered from the injury. I think the injury process, even though on the outside he may feel okay, but I really think that the internal aspect of the injury is not over. So I mean, yeah, and I really think they need to really get an expert for him with knee injury as a bowling all rounder is very dangerous. So I think they really need to ensure that he's fully recovered. And I think he rushed the recovery process from the injury was rushed. Was rushed.
Well, as you can see, Davian, Kurt is definitely not agreeing with you.
Yeah,
Shepard should not have been batting below Romario Shepard given the
yeah.
situation. And I can understand the sentiments of Kurt. Definitely can understand. You want your better batter to face more deliveries to have a bigger impact. But Kurt, what Davian is saying is based on the numbers, Romario against leg spin, the matchup maybe would not have been in Romario's favor. But I can understand what Kurt is saying. Um, Keon is saying Smith, Odin Smith, that is, should have been in this ODI team. Well, what's your
Who would
thought
my question for Kian, who would audience team would have replaced
in the
in this
squad?
team? Our squad. Who would have replaced?
To be fair, let's even look at even a Kavem Hodge. I mean, to be fair, he had some impetus with the bat, some impetus with the ball.
Right.
Yeah, but I can see the reasoning or the rationale for calling for a player like Odin Smith because I just think the balance of the team is off. So I get why Kian would have alluded to why Smith should be in the team. I get it. All right. So if Shepard have a problem against Spain, why is the coaching staff not help him to fix the player weakness? Isn't that the job of the coach? Davian, I want you to take that question. Of course, I
Uh,
can answer, but I want you to take it first.
Whoa, whoa. The thing with playing spin, it takes time for players to improve, and also the quality. So for Ramon Shepherd to improve against spin, he has to play against spin bowlers who are in the region. And even though our spin bowlers are taking a lot of wickets in the region, we see when they play against international teams, they struggle. So yeah. So it's hard for him to improve against quality spin bowling if he's not really facing it in the region. And Hayden Wells Jr., Yannick Currier, they bowl leg spin, right? However, they do not offer the same control Adam Zampa provides. Adam Zampa basically he bows goal line and length, he attacks the stumps. He always brings three modes of dismissal in, and
And he has the googly.
right, excellent googly. So him improve against spin is something he would have probably improved on in probably franchise cricket, where he's facing spin bowlers from all over the world. So when, for example, we're playing the CPL, we know you have a Imran Tayer can bowl against him in the nets and other spin bowlers. So it's gonna take some time. It could take some time.
Also, I don't think it's actually the head coach necessarily, but yeah, get it in terms of coaching staff to help the batters to play against spin. But I think it actually should start from before they actually get to international level. I think that coaches are supposed to get players that are ready for international cricket based on domestic competition. And then of course, then the coach help them to get mentally ready to play on different surfaces. So he's more as a as a guide rather than, let's say, a direct coach. I would say no, at the domestic level, this is where we're supposed to fix these issues. So when we're turning out now for our territories, whether you're playing for Guyana, whether you're playing for Trinidad, whether you're playing for Barbados, or you're playing for the volcanoes, I actually think that from that standpoint, that's where we're supposed to now improve against pace and spin. The coach is at that level. So we get them at international cricket, and they should definitely be ready. No, Abdullah is saying can't fight them because Walsh is in good batting form coming out of the Super 50. And I 100% agree with Abdullah because Walsh was doing a lot of good work with the bat and with the ball in Super 50. Scored some decent runs. Um, yeah. Remember, he would have assisted his team get into the finals, and he was a big contributor with bat and ball, especially with the bat finishing off innings coming in at number 7. So, yeah, I don't see any issue there. I think that Hope should score big. Now, Davian, what's your thought on this? I remember watching I think it was Jared Kimber, and he was showing some statistics about West Indies being bowled out. Um if Shea Hope doesn't bat 50 overs, but this was from a good while ago. This was like 2021,
Right,
right? And even though it's 2024, it seems like it's the same narrative. If
right.
Shea Hope doesn't score 50, we're gonna get bowled out. What's your thought on that?
Well, that's very concerning, and I think that's part of the reason why they have so much accumulators in the side to try to cover for Shea Hope when he fails. But that seemed to not really be working. Well, so this is definitely not our best playing 11. I see some players not in the squad, really and truly. When they're in the squad, this team would definitely get more competitive, right? So yeah, I'm not too worried right now. The bowling, wow, O'Shane Thomas, it did not impress. I mean, Matthew Ford, O'Shane Thomas, they were very expensive. Wow. Moti, offer some a little bit better, but based on the quality offers, he should have done better. Ramar Shepard, well, his 4 overs was excellent. Wow, 14 runs, less than 4 runs per over. But we're wondering, I mean, if you're going for 3.5 runs per over, I mean, you should have bowled more. So I think fitness is the issue. Ramar Shepard is not fully fit. I really think that's part of the reason why he did not even bowl, say 7, 8 overs. Hayden, Hayden was Jr. It was okay, and going less than 6 runs and over. Hayden Wells Jr. is really it should be attacking option, really and truly. We know that Rastan Chase is really a defensive swing bowler. So his job is just to keep things very tight. And then that bowler here bowling 2 overs.
Kavem Hodge, yeah, it was
Coming
Kavem
hard,
Hodge bowling two
right?
overs,
For,
some
for
darts.
some darts, right, right. So Matthew Ford and O'Shane Thomas, they definitely have to do better. If they're both playing tonight, they have to do better. But I think one of them will be replaced with Azari Joseph. They rested Azari Joseph for the first game, and based on their performance, it's kind of hard to see who I would drop out of the two. But one of them has to sit out for the second game, right? So
Now let's start from the power play though, because Matthew Ford bowling the first over, he was smacked for four first delivery.
mm-hmm.
He went round the wicket bowling to Travis Head, but then he had Travis Head nicked off. Very, very beautiful delivery there. But
Right,
then after that wicket, Cameron Green and Josh
Josh
English,
Inglis.
they were just smashing Thomas and Matthew Ford. O'Shane Thomas was just bowling short and wide. Yes, he was getting quick and quicker because he went up to 145 kph. So O'Shane Thomas back to 90 miles per hour. But what are your thoughts on Thomas bowling short and wide? And also, if the ball is not swinging, we see where Matty Ford, they were tearing into him so easily because he's just bowling gentle medium pace. What's your thought on that for our opening combination, Matty Ford, O'Shane Thomas?
Wow, very very disappointing. I mean, O'Shane Thomas. Wow, he should have bowled better length and length. I think if he had bowled better length and length, he would have taken a wicket or two. Much of Ford, as his career continues, he needs to add more skills to his bowling. Not the ball is not going to swing and seam forever, right? And some pitches there will be no swing and seam. So he has to figure out, he and the management, what does he bowl when the ball is not swinging and seaming. So the earlier he figures that out, the better his bowling career would be. In a case he does not figure it out, it could be a case Montefort will only be played based on the expected conditions of the pitch.
But how do you go about now? Matty Ford, he's just like 21 years old or 22, so he's very young. But how do you think he can go about now? Because he has a lot of variation, but it's just that his stock delivery, he's not bowling faster than 125 kph, right? On
Right.
average. So how can we get his average bowling speed up so then all his variations becomes that much more effective? How can we get his speed up?
All right. So I would have given some special training, increase his strength, strengthen his body. That's number one. I mean, I think him strengthening his body would really, really help. Right. So I think increased strength will really help with his pace increasing, keeping him fit. So increasing his strength, stamina, and fitness. I think with that will help his pace to increase.
All right, now we have to get to Kurt's comment here. So Kurt is saying Odin Smith is a better bowling all-rounder than Justin Greaves. So he should have been in that squad and he can give you runs down the order as well. But Greaves is not a big hitter of the ball or he's not a fast bowler. So I get what Kurt is saying. We have Matty Ford already, the medium pace bowler. Justin Greaves can do the same. Um, and in terms of batters, we have batters that can basically nudge it around at the top of the order. Even Keon Otley is still in the ranks, still to get a game. So basically, Curtis saying we can go for Odin Smith as the all rounder ahead of Justin Greaves. Your thoughts on that?
Man, I think Odin, even though he was faster, he lost control. So the
Yeah,
same
he
thing
just
O'Shane
lost
Thomas does with
control.
bowling short and wide and boundary deliveries. Odin Simi will offer a lot of that. So unless I see Odin Simi control increase significantly, I will not be including him in any squad. Yes, his also his batting is also a hit or miss. I mean, it's either a boundary or a dot. So I need to see some more runs being scored after dot deliveries, singles, and twos. So Odin Cement, he potential is definitely there. He has a lot of potential, but he need to organize his game. I think his game is a bit erratic. I think organizes his game, what he does in these situations, he will be a great player. What about a player for West Indies?
All right. Definitely, Odin Smith needs to get more organized, more consistency. That's
Right.
the term. I love it. All right, now me. There is a thing I dislike. Of course, we all would like hope to score a big 100. All right, so this is from Dunstan. However, what about other batsmen? When Lara was playing, everyone depended on him to score. Um, your thoughts, Davian, because
All
as you
right.
just alluded to it, Shea Hope, there's there's a lot of expectancy on Shea Hope to go big.
All right. So I don't fully agree with that statement. Why in Okay, so I see Casey Carty being a batter who can really, if Casey Carty was not run out in the first game, we would have batted off 50 over. We see where Casey Carty actually have the game, can actually bat very long. Ruston Chase has that ability as well. And also Kevin I really think Kevin Sinclair should be in this playing level. He feels very well. He can bat and he offers decent outspin. So we yeah. So I think that will improve. It will improve. It will improve. Also, Nikki P is not there. I mean, Nikki P comes back at 5, yeah. So there's some
Who
players
says Nicholas Puran is coming back to ODIs?
well, I really hope he. But if he doesn't, I hope either Sherford, Rutherford will come back. So Sherford, Rutherford, or Nicky P at 5 will really let things. Even Joshua De Silva, I mean, if Joshua De Silva, I mean, comes to his playing level, we batting of 50 overs will also increase as well.
Abdullah is saying I'm dropping Walsh and Moti and
Then
Joseph and
Josie is on
Aki are
RT in,
in
right,
with
right,
Greaves and Athanas. So he agrees with you to move Athanas down to number 5. He can play that impactful innings down here
right,
there. So
right, right.
Abdullah is agreeing with what you're saying. But let's just hurry up and wrap up on the bowling, and then of course we can get a bit in detail into the changes. So we already talked about the opening bowlers. Now you said that you're disappointed with Gudakesh Moti, 10 overs, 1 for 58. But to be honest, Gudakesh, because our opening bowlers were so poor, he had to be bowling in the power play. Doesn't that account for anything? Imagine a spinner, your lead spinner in Australia has to be bowling inside the power play. And he also did get a wicket because he got that wicket by review against Josh English in the power play. So doesn't that account to say that Moti actually did quite well because he had to be bowling in the power play as a spinner, had to get some licks. So his first two, 3 overs would have were very expensive because he had to get some licks in the power play. So wouldn't you then say he actually bowled even better
That is
than
number
what?
show.
Yeah, he bowled better than the number showed.
So my thing with Moti as a lead spinner, we know that he does extremely well in the mega overs. But my thing with Moti, I really think I need him to develop his game where he can bowl in the power play and dead overs and be as equally effective. Yeah, so yeah, Moti can be a lead spinner and he's only potent, very, very potent in one phase of the game. He needs to be an all phase spin bowler for us. So if our pacers are being smashed in the power play and that overs, we must can give him an over and 2 and know that yes, Moti will take a wicket. So that is where disappointment comes from.
No, I watched a bit of the bowling. So I
Mm-hmm.
remember I woke up getting ready for work now, and Australia were like 150 yard, 60 yard for two. And watching the rest of the game, they comfortably chased it. And Hayden Walsh, he didn't look like he was gonna get a wicket. I don't know how he was gonna get a wicket watching him bowl. What's your thoughts on Hayden Walsh? He's supposed to be our lead leg spinner. He just replaced Yannick Carrier. Carrier also was very poor in the series against England. Akil was saying many persons are calling for him to be in the squad to play the two left arm spinners and to argue. Akil is actually more versatile than Moti, being able to bowl in the power play, in the middle overs, and also at the death. So your thoughts on Hayden Walsh, and also give a reason as to why Hayden looks so flat.
All right. So, yeah, yes, they are paying more attention to list A performances, but we have to realize the quality of players in our first class list A is not nowhere near the quality in international cricket. So we have to look at what is the player's ability to adapt to different pitches and different players. So that is one criteria West Indies selectors need to look at. Because the case, the players they can adapt and adjust based on conditions. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, their performance in list A doesn't carry no weight. And I think that's the issue with Alec Altanas. Even though he dominated in list A, on this tour, he showed inability to to adapt to Australian pitches.
And an excellent point made here by Abdullah is that, of course, we know Zampa is a world class spinner, right? And he's saying that's why he's dropping Multi and Walsh, because spin won't make an impact. Well, I wouldn't drop both of them, but I agree with Abdullah. We can't be playing three spinners, not in Australia. Not in Australia. We cannot have three spinners in Australia. So, with that being said, now, I want to hear now your thoughts on your playing 11, right? Based on the squad, I want to see you adjust your playing 11. Let's take that down. Your playing 11. What would you want your playing 11 to be?
All
For
right.
this
So
for the ODI in about 1 hour time, 1.5 hours time.
right. So for opening, we have Shea Hope has to open. Shea Hope has to open. Shea Hope and Justin Greaves.
So you're saying you're going with Shea Hope and Justin Greaves.
Right. Shea Hope has to open. He has to open. Oh, I reckon on screen. And
I'm not sure why it's not being
oh
displayed.
yeah. It's showing. No, I guess there was a
Showing
lag.
now. Yeah, but whenever I try to full screen it, it's not showing, so I'm not sure. Having
Uh,
issues, but all right, no problem. So you have
uh,
Shea Hope, Justin Greaves,
Number three, we have Casey Carty.
Casey Carty at number three. I think I know what I can do. I'm gonna type it in the comments and then display it. So you have Shea Hope at the top, Justin Greaves,
Casey Carty.
Casey Carty.
Number four, I'm putting Kevin Hodge.
So after the first ODI, didn't look too impressive. You're moving him one spot up the order.
Right.
All right.
Number five, I'm
Alec
having
Atanas.
Asanas. Right. Number six, I'm having what was it? Russian Chase. Russian Chase. Stay at number six.
Austin Chase at six.
Right. Number seven, I'm having
Romari Shepard.
number seven. Right. Number eight, I'm having Azar Joseph at number eight.
Azari
Uh,
Joseph at eight.
right. Number nine, I'm having Matthew Ford.
Matthew Ford at nine.
Right,
Budakesh
number
Moti at
Mostly at
10.
10, and then I'm giving O'Shane Thomas one more chance.
For Shane Thomas. So,
Right.
all right. So this is Davian's playing 11. Davian would have moved Shea Hope up the order back to the top. But we know that's not going to happen because he has made it very clear that he's going to be batting at number 4. So if any shuffling needs to be done, it's going to be around Shea Hope. He's made that clear that he's not going to be opening, but you never know. Let's see. Now, Curtis saying, I know all Alec fans going to be upset, but He's gonna bring in Teddy Bishop for
Right.
Alec and let another youth in, and Joseph in for Walsh and change up the batting lineup. Now, to be fair, I have no problem with this either. And hear me out, Davion.
Right.
Now, if you've actually been watching this tour, Athanas is a great batsman. Well, not he's great, but he's a good batsman, and he has been struggling on this tour. No, nothing is wrong to rest a struggling batsman and play someone fresh. The opposition has no data really on a Teddy Bishop. So it's not as if Teddy's numbers can get any worse than what Alec is producing on this um, tour so far. So whatever West Indies decide to do, I have no issues with. So
So,
if
so you're
I
saying that you'll basically replace Alec Alton with a Bishop opening?
No, well, I wouldn't want Bishop is not gonna open, but of course that means if Athanasius drop, I would have to bring in Kean Otley. But my question to you, what's the issue with Kean Otley? He was the reserve opener in the England series, and basically Kean Otley, he is still not in the main 11. What do you think caused that? Why is he still not in the main 11?
The only thing I could say is probably they don't want two left-handed batters to open. Because right,
I
right. That's
mean,
the,
what's the problem with having two left hand? I see teams doing it. Australia Open with David Warner and Travis Head. What's the problem?
wow. But I really want to see Utley, or maybe they want him to debut in familiar conditions in Caribbean.
So they want him to debut in familiar conditions in the Caribbean. But then, what would have been the point of giving him a call up? He should be getting a call up expecting to play. If you're gonna want him to debut in home condition, as many fans are saying, like Kurtz, like Abdullah, right? Why not have Kurt McKenzie stay on from the Australia tour? And since he's already um in Australia and you don't want the youngsters debut in Australia, then let Kurt McKenzie play in the ODI. What's the issue?
Yeah, I really think seeing how Kurt McKenzie was easy striking over 50 against the red ball and pink ball, he would have really um add more impetus in the batting. Our batting is very it's too reserved. It's too reserved.
Two reserve. No, we don't want to spend too much more time. As you can see, we've been on the live for 52 minutes. So again, for all the viewers who are just tuning in, remember, please click on the link that we post and you can join in and come and have a chat with us on or show. And also, only thing we're requesting is that you turn on your camera and make sure the background is not too noisy. So if you want to come and have a chat with us, just click on the link. We're really excited to have you on the program. So just come on and have a chat with us. Just turn on the camera and yeah, make sure the background is not too noisy. But Davian, let's hurry up and wrap up the second ODI preview. Now, in terms, you already mentioned your changes, right? You mentioned that you would have wanted to see Kavem Hodge go to number 4, Athanas push down to 5. You want Alzari coming back in for Hayden Walsh. So you're not making heaps of changes. You're just doing some rejig. Now, with the rejig that you would have done, what would you want to see West Indies do if we're gonna bat first again? Given that you said we need to work on batting first.
All right. So for us to batting first, I want to see partnerships. Right. I see partnerships. We need to see all right for the first 10 overs. What score do you want to reach for the first 10 overs? What how much runs we need to do make in 30 overs, and I really think if the 40th over, we should not lose more than 5 wickets. I believe if 40 overs come and we're 5 wickets down and we have a bat, and we need a batter from the top four to be there in the last 10 overs. And preferably not Shea Hope. Right. We really need other batters stepping up. I think it's better for us if we can be competitive in scores without Shea Hope being the lead.
All right. I like that. I like that. Shea Hope is definitely, we've been too reliant on him, and you can see he's the only batsman we have in the top 10 or the top 20 batting. Well, Nicholas
Whoa,
Moran would have been there, but he's
whoa,
not in the
wow.
ODI setup right now.
I,
So
I right.
definitely. Now look at Abdullah's playing 11 before.
Mm-hmm.
Abdullah would have had Keon Otley, Justin Greaves, Casey Carty, Shea Hope, Alec Athanas, push Kavem Hodge down to 6, Chase, Shepard, Ford, Joseph, Thomas. All right.
Wow,
What's your
whoa,
thought on Abdullah's 11?
whoa, whoa. To be honest, that's a brave. That's very brave. He's dropping the two spinners. He's dropping no, oh, he's dropping Monty and Hayden Walsh Jr. Wow.
Is it brave? I'm just gonna ask you a question, Davian. What was their impact? One for 58, and Walsh was like none for 41 from 7.5 overs. So literally, they were going at a runner ball, right, close to 100 runs in their like 17 overs combined. So 100 runs, 17 overs, 1 wicket. That's not doing anything. So to be honest, what Abdullah is saying is a fair point.
Wow, wow. And I see where we have what five? Wait, I can't say we have six bowl because Hodge can bowl, Ali can
And
bowl,
Greaves
and
can bowl.
bowl. Right, right. So I really think this is a better playing 11. Or could we go back to that 11? The comment. Right. We have Ati Impact. He can play shots opening. Right. We have Alik at 5. So we have depth. There's more depth in the batting, and we have three well four. We have four seam bowlers, and each one they do something different. So there's variety. There's more variety in this bowling attack with the Pacers.
Definitely. So Abdullah Davian is definitely agreeing with you. More
Right,
more versatility. We definitely have enough seamers now for these surfaces. And if we need to go to spin, we have Chase and we have Hodge. We also have an extra medium seamer in Greaves just in case. So Davian is agreeing with you, Abdullah.
right. Wow, wow.
No, you mentioned Davian before. We don't want to spend more than an hour doing the preview here. So you mentioned that of course we need to look at phases of the game. First 10 overs, what are we trying to score? Like close to a runner ball in the first 10 overs. What's our aim now for 30 overs then? Trying to lose only 5 wickets for 40 overs. Just quoting back what you said.
Right,
No, with the ball, right? So far, if we go back to the England series, Phil Salt and Will Jacks, they were hammering us. And every time it was like 80 or 70 yard without loss in 10 overs or 70 yard for one in 10 overs. No, in Australia, it's the same thing again. We cannot bowl 10 overs for less than a runner ball. What's going wrong for the new ball pair? How do we
wow.
resolve that issue?
Well, I think they're bowling too much boundary deliveries. So I think reducing the boundary deliveries and bowling more dot deliveries will really help. I think bowlers should bowl to their feel, right? And based on what the pitch is offering, bowl a line and length where it's very difficult for the batter to score. I mean, there has to be statistic on each ground, right? What deliveries bowl will take wickets in first 10 overs.
I mean, and even going by the numbers, sometime you have to also, as a bowler, you have to be able to bowl a few deliveries and then work out quickly what's the right area to bowl on that particular surface. That is something that India, Australia, South Africa, they're very good at doing. They're very good at after the first 4 or 5 overs, they're able to assess now what the wicket is doing. Why is it a case where our bowlers they are not able to have that capacity to analyze what the pitch is doing in such a short span of time? What we like to do is we like to lose the first game, and then second game you see us coming back. That's when we now understand what the ground is
All
doing.
right. So basically, it's a case of low situational awareness, and I really think at the junior level, the coaches need to spend less time on players having flair, this carbon flair. I personally do not like it. I know a lot of fans love this carbon flair in our
I love
shots.
it. It
No,
looks
I
so
don't.
good.
I dislike it. I dislike it. That's a huge reason why we're not doing well. Because we're focusing on fancy shots and spectacular deliveries, but we're not focused on being consistent, being organized, and being focused. I mean that yes, that will help at the junior level. We see with the under 19 cricket team, they really pushed really hard. They did us proud. But those set of players, when they reach international level, they struggle. Why? Because at the highest level, you doing the simple things correct, the basic things correct for long periods of time is what will guarantee success.
Definitely, definitely. Now, Davian, because we're over an hour, I really want us to get out of here, wrap this one up. You can
Right,
get some refreshments, get an hour's sleep, and then ready to
right,
watch West Indies in this second ODI. So we're going to try and wrap this up really quickly. Now,
right.
Curtis saying right here, what a waste. So we're just going to read a couple comments, make a few comments, and then we're out of here. So Curtis saying, what a waste of talent. Young Drakes is have fallen off like ODI Fabian Allen, Hetmeyer. Why is it the selectors wasting away the future of West Indies cricket and not even helping them out? Question for you, Davian. Go ahead and take that one on.
Whoa, whoa. Everything is a case of mismanagement of resources. I don't think that is the selectors and the management best attributes. If those players were available to the other top teams like Australia, England, New Zealand, South Africa, the results would have been a much different. So yeah, this is one area that West Indies need to work on. When certain players they start their career and they shine, and then they have a phase of bad form, what can we do to support them to get back them into form?
Definitely, definitely. Cause we see it happen all the time in other countries, and they're able now to get back right away after a few bad series. They're able now to go back to their domestic competition, whether it's a Sheffield trophy, whatever it is, Ranji trophy, whatever it is in a different country, get back, and then they're back in form as soon as possible. And we see that these guys, it's not that they're not even playing cricket because Dominic Drakes is in the ILT20 playing for the Gulf Giants. Odin Smith is in ILT20. Allen is in the SAT20. Hetma is in the ILT20. So they're all playing cricket at competitive levels. Um, but they're not the same players that they used to be. Dominic Drakes, as Kurt pointed out, there are so many talented players, and we've just, as you said, mismanagement. We're not tracking their development. We're not standing by them and ensuring that we give them the best chance to um maintain or also improve upon where they've started, because these are all quality players, but we're just not allowing them to improve at the rate that they should be improving. So going forward, Davian, what do you think, what would be your message to um, West Indies cricket administrators? What can they do in order to ensure that our young talents do not fall by the wayside? Because we even have the under 19 personnel to talk about, right? But what can we do to ensure that our talent don't fall by the wayside?
Well, it starts from reaching out to them. So okay, we realize that you perform very well. What can we do to provide support to get you back into form? Sometimes we I don't expect them to have all the solutions, but I think sometimes admitting that you don't have a solution to a problem, it allows discussions to take place and for both parties to really formulate a plan. So I really it's not a really a one shoe fits all. Just reaching out each person. We have seen from Lee Selector we been asked questions about players. He say that he owes them a phone call.
Yeah.
Right. So I believe it starts from improved communication to the players. it is a collaboration. It's not a case of we over here and you over there. So I think once that mentality changes, a lot of these players will be back to their best.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So communication need to improve. Now it's way over 1 hour. So we're about
Right.
to wrap up. Davian, I'm asking you to leave your prediction, right? What's your prediction for what's gonna happen later on if West Indies bat first and also if West Indies chase? And do you think we can
Uh,
win this one?
all right. So I believe if we're chasing, we will win. We will definitely win. If we're batting first, well, we will. If we bat first, we'll produce a better total than we produced in first game, but it will still be under par. And with Azar Joseph back, definitely it won't be so easy for the Australians to really chase it down. But if Australians are chasing, they will win. But they won't be as ruthless as they were in the first game if they're
Give us
chasing.
some score predictions. Let's see how close you will be to the correct thing.
All
Give us
right,
some scores.
all right. So if West
If we
Indies
bat
batting,
first.
if West Indies batting first, I expect them to make two 280, right? And then for Australia to chase on this 280 with 4 overs remaining. If Australia is batting first, I expect them to make 340, right? And I expect West Indies to chase it down in the last over.
Whoa, 340 and this inexperienced team will chase it down.
Right,
That
I,
is
see-
crazy.
I see. Well, we have seen crazier stuff, Ronaldo. Because I remember for the Test series, remember I said I expect us to lose the first and draw the second game.
And we did win.
Well, they surprised me by winning. I expected a draw for
Definitely.
the second game. Like I told you, I expect an improved performance in the second game, but it brings us a draw and not a win.
And I think this is an excellent point to close it off, where Curtis said, no matter what, win or lose,
Right.
rally, rally,
Around,
rally,
around the West Indies.
rally
But
around the West Indies.
definitely in series, West Indies when they're playing they always struggle in the first game of the series, especially away, but they always improve significantly in the second innings, in the second
Definitely.
game. So they will improve. We see a lot of energy. Shea Ho said the batting lack intent, so we see a lot of intent in the batting this time around.
Definitely. 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 So, as Curtis saying, no matter what happens later tonight, we will definitely rally around the West Indies. Thank you, thank you, thank you all for tuning in. And we have lots more to talk about. Of course, Davian and I, we have so much more to talk about. We have to talk about the squads, of course, Davian, for the 4-day championship coming up.
Right,
We also
right,
have to talk about the under 19 team. They beat Sri Lanka. Then we had that game against Australia that was washed out due to rain and lightning and all of that crazy stuff. We have so much more to talk about. We have to talk about the guys in ILT20, SAT20 in Bangladesh Premier League. We see Raymond Reefer doing well over there. So, of course, we have so much to talk about. So, thank you to everyone for tuning in. All right. Thank you, Davian. And, of course, stay tuned. We have plenty more to talk about. Plenty, plenty more. Let's just rally around the West Indies. Final words, Davian.
well, just improvement. Some persons they focus more on the destination and focus on the journey. I think the journey is more important than the destination. And once we're improving in our tactical awareness and match situation awareness, then I'm satisfied.
All right. So you heard it, peeps. We just want to improve. We just want to improve. We're focusing on the journey. Let's see some improvement in the second ODI tonight and rally around the West Indies. Thank you for tuning in and goodbye for now. Stay tuned for many more live shows. Take care,
Take care,
everyone.
yeah, take care, everybody. Have a good night.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.